volume.
Turn me on, turn me up.
Yo, drop the cut.
Turn me on, turn me up. 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 When the music hits you in the middle of the night, power up your TS10, put the groove down right. On stage or in the studio, the sound is here to stay. Just turn on your TS10 and play. Turn me on, turn me up. 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 Turn me on. Turn me on, turn me up. 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 Turn me on. Turn me on. Turn me on.
We want to make sure that we're all working with the same set of sounds. Find the TSD100 disk and load it into the drive. Press Storage, press Disk, select Load. Use the data entry controls to set the type equals 120 programs. Set Load File Equals to User Banks. Select Yes. In a few seconds, the load operation will be complete. Selecting programs and sounds. We'll begin our tutorial by selecting and playing a few of the TS sounds. Press the Sounds button. This puts the TS into sounds mode. The TS display will be showing you the 6 sounds available in the bank that's currently selected. More on banks later. Press the button directly above or below the sound you want to select. The bank of sounds you see may differ from the one shown here. The buttons located inside the display are called soft buttons because the functions of these buttons are determined by the software. You can access other banks of programs in the current bank set. More on bank sets later, using the 10 bank buttons located directly under the display. Press one of the 10 bank buttons, 0 through 9, below the display. Its yellow LED will light. Press the soft button directly above or below the name of the sound you wish to play. TS banks are organized into larger groupings called bank sets. Press the bank set button a few times. Each time you press, the TS displays the new bank set and the sounds within it. The name of the bank set is located in the upper left corner of the screen. You can select banks and sounds from each bank set as described above. Stacking sounds on the TS keyboard is simple. Press the Sounds button to enter Sounds mode if you are currently in some other mode, and select Bank 0 in Bank Set U0. Select the grand piano sound. This will be the primary sound. Double-click the soft button directly below the missed sound. This will become one of two possible secondary sounds. If you play the keyboard now, you will hear both sounds. Double-click the soft button directly below the multi-bass sound. This will become the other secondary sound. If you play the keyboard now, you will hear all three sounds. Before you continue, make sure that grand piano is selected as the primary sound and that missed and multi-bass are stacked with the grand piano. The presets. Sounds that have been stacked together can be saved as presets. Up to 3 sounds can be combined to form a preset, and these 3 sounds can be split and/or stacked in any way. The TS includes 300 presets when shipped from the factory. Selecting a preset. Press the Presets button. Press the soft button nearest the name of the preset you wish to select. Selecting other presets in the current bank. Select the presets in the current bank to get a sense of how this process works. Note that each time you select a new preset, the effect sound changes. This is because each preset can have its own effect setup, overriding the effect setups for the individual sounds used in the preset. Selecting presets in other banks within the current bank set. As with sounds, presets are grouped into sets of 6, called banks. Press one of the 10 bank buttons, 0 through 9, below the display. Its yellow LED will light. Press the soft button directly above or below the name of the preset you wish to play. Selecting presets in other bank sets. As with sounds, banks of presets are organized into larger groupings called bank sets. While holding down the bank set button, press one of the first 5 bank buttons, 0 through 4, to select a new bank set. Alternatively, you can press the bank set button repeatedly to scroll through all the bank sets. Select banks and presets from the new bank set as described above. Sequencing. Before we move into the sequencing section of this tutorial, we'll need to load our sequencing files from the tutorial disk. Loading the tutorial sequence files. Insert the disk labeled TSD 100 Sound and Sequence Disk into the disk drive. Press the Storage button. Select Disk. Select Load. You can select from among several types of files to load. Use the data entry controls to set the type to 30 sequence song file. The top line of the display will show Load File equals Tutorial. Select Yes. In a few seconds, the load operation will be complete. Selecting sequences and songs. As with presets and sounds, there are a number of locations in which you can store sequences and songs. Selecting sequences and songs is similar to selecting presets and sounds. Playing the demo song. Press the Seeks Songs button to enter sequencer mode. Press the Bank 0 button to move to the bank containing the demo song. Press the soft button above the name of the demo song to select the song. Press play. The demo song will play. When you're through listening to the song, press stop. Playing individual component sequences. The demo song is made up of shorter sequences which have been chained together to play in a specific order. Let's listen to one of those shorter sequences. Press the soft button closest to the name of the individual sequence you want to hear. Press play. When you're through listening, press stop. Creating a new sequence. Press the Bank 1 button. This bank contains 6 blank, empty, sequence locations. Press the soft button above the first blank sequence location. It's the one in the upper left corner of the display. The TS now displays the first page of the Create Song Sequence menu. Press the soft button above Sequence to create a new sequence. The TS will display the next page of the Create Sequence menu. Use the soft buttons under the words Left and Right to move the cursor, and use the Data Entry slider and the up-down arrow buttons to select letters and characters. Name the sequence My-Seek. You can move the Data Entry slider all the way down to select a blank space for each of the 5 remaining characters left in the display. Press the soft button above Yes. You will move to the next page where you can set the sequence time signature. Pressing the middle soft button in the lower row will alternately select between the numerator and the denominator in the time signature. For now, we'll be working in 4/4 time, so leave this set as it is. Press the soft button above Yes. You will be returned to the sequence bank display, and the new sequence will be installed in the first sequence location. Replacing track sounds. Now we are going to place the sounds that we will be recording with on sequence tracks. Press the Tracks 1 to 6 button in the Track Parameters section. The display is showing the first 6 tracks in the new sequence. Note that the last sound you are using is installed in the first track and selected. The other tracks are not defined at this point, and may not be the same sound shown in this display. Let's replace the Track 1 sound with a drum set sound. Press the Replace Track Sound button. Its LED will light, and the LED above the Sounds button will begin to flash. Use the Bank Set, Bank, and Soft buttons to select the sound The Groove, a drum set sound, located in Bank 0 of Bank Set is 0. Press the Replace Track Sound button to return to the Sequence Tracks page. The sound, "The Groove," is now installed in Track 1. Recording a track. Now that we have a sound selected for Track 1, we're ready to record a sequence. Press and hold the Record button. While continuing to hold the Record button, press the Play button, then release both buttons. The metronome will begin clicking quarter notes, and the Locate page will be displayed. Rec will be flashing in the display. While the metronome continues to click, you can use the Data Entry slider or the up-down arrow buttons to increase or decrease the sequence tempo, or tap the Tempo button on the display. Please note, there are a couple of things to be aware of when recording the first track of a sequence. First, recording will not actually begin until you play a note. Second, the length of the first track you record will determine the length of the sequence. Record 4 measures using a simple kick and snare drum pattern, perhaps alternating the kick and snare on quarter notes. The kick drum is on the lowest note on the keyboard, C2. The snare is 1 octave higher, C3. When you've played the drums for 4 measures, press the Stop Continue button. The TS will ask you if you want to keep the sequence you've just recorded. If you'd like to try again, press the soft button below the word No and repeat the previous steps. When you're ready to go on, press the soft button above Yes. The Locate page will be displayed. You've just successfully recorded a track. At this point, you can press Play and listen to it as often as you like. Re-recording a track. If you've completed the previous steps, Track 1 is still selected. Press and hold the Record button, then press the Play button. The metronome will click out 1 measure of quarter notes, and recording will begin. Play a new drum part that is different than the previous part. Once the sequence has run all the way through in record mode, recording will stop, and the TS sequencer will enter audition mode. Press the soft button above Play Original Track. You will hear your original drum part. Press the soft button above Play New Track. You will hear the new track. You will need to keep either the original track or the new track. To keep the original track, press the soft button under Keep Original Track. To keep the new track, press the soft button under Keep New Track. For now, keep the original track containing the alternating quarter note kick and snare pattern by pressing the appropriate soft button. Adding to a track. You can also overdub parts onto a track by using Add mode. Press the sequencer control button. Select Record Mode equals Replace. Press the up arrow button once to change this to Record Mode equals Add. Press the tracks to the Create New Song Sequence page. Press the soft button above Song. You'll be taken to the Song Name page. Name the song My-Song. Please note, song names begin with a $ symbol, which cannot be changed. This helps to differentiate songs from sequences when viewing sequence song banks. Press the soft button above Yes. You'll find yourself back in the sequence song banks with your new song occupying the last location in this bank. Editing song steps. As we've mentioned, individual sequences can be chained together to form a song. A finished song contains a number of steps, each of which plays back a specific sequence, as well as handling several other parameters that help make the creation of songs easy. The process of determining which song step plays which sequence, along with several related parameters, is called editing song steps. Defining the first song step. Press the Edit Song button. Press the soft button below Edit Steps. You will be presented with the Edit Song Steps display. Select Sequence equals Song End. Press the up arrow button once. The TS display will blink, and the first sequence in memory, verse 1, will be assigned to the first step of the song. Changing the sequence played by the song step. You can easily select a different sequence to play at any step of a song. To change the first step of this song so that it plays the sequence you created, do the following. Use the up-down arrow buttons to scroll through the list of available sequences. Continue until you find the sequence MySeq and stop. This assigns MySeq as the first step to play in this song. Defining additional song steps. Press the soft button below Step equals 1 to select it. Press the up arrow button to change this to Step equals 2. Select Seek equals Song End and use the up-down arrow button to select the sequence Verse 2 for this song step. Select Step equals 2 and change it to Step equals 3. Select Seek equals Song End and use the up-down arrow buttons to select the sequence Bridge for this song step. Playing the song. Press play. The locate page will be displayed, and the song will play the sequences in the order specified. If you watch the display as the song plays, you'll see the name of whatever sequence is currently playing displayed. When you've had enough, press stop. Repeating a song step. Press the Edit Song button and select Edit Steps. Select Step equals 1. Select Repetition, Reps equals 1, and press the up arrow button once to change it to Reps 2. Song Step 1 will now play twice when the song is played back. You can verify this by pressing play and watching the display to see which sequences play and for how long. Inserting a song step. If you're not still there, return now to the Edit Steps page. Press Edit Song, then select Edit Steps. Select Step equals 1 and use the data entry slider or the up-down arrow buttons to change it to Step equals 2. Press the soft button above Insert. A new step will be inserted at Step 2. The sequence originally played at Step 2 will now be played at Step 3. Select Seek equals blank and use the up-down arrow buttons to select the sequence MySeq for Step 2 of the song. Muting tracks and transposing tracks. Individual sequence tracks can be muted or transposed during playback of the song. This can help to speed up the process of creating songs. For example, let's say that in our song we would like to play MySeq 2 times. The first time, though, we'd like to hear it one whole step higher in the key of G, without the bass part. The second time, we'd like to hear it in the original key, F, and with the bass part. Rather than having to create a separate sequence for each of these sections, we can selectively mute and transpose tracks to achieve the same result, thereby using only a single sequence. Select Step 2 and set the value to 1. Also, set reps to 1. Press the soft button above Tracks. Press the soft button in the middle of the upper row. The first P stands for play, and the first P represents track 1, will be selected. The bass part is on track 2, so press the soft button once again to advance to track 2. Press the up arrow button. The P will change to M for mute. Track 2, the bass track, will now be muted at this step. Press the soft button in the middle of the lower row. The first N, for normal, will be selected. Again, this represents track 1, the drum track. Press the soft button again twice to select the third N. This is the track that plays the piano part you recorded. Press the up arrow button to change this to T, which stands for transpose. This track will be transposed on playback as long as we complete the next step and set a transpose amount. Press the soft button under transpose equals plus 00. Press the up arrow button twice to set the transpose amount to plus 2. Any track set to T, as track 3 is, will now play back 2 semitones higher than they were recorded when this step plays. Press play to listen to the song. When this step plays, you will hear your sequence play. It will be transposed up by 2 semitones, and the bass part will be muted. Song tracks. Once you've created a song, an additional 12 tracks called song tracks become available to you. Along with the 12 sequence tracks, this gives you a total of 24 tracks to make music with. While individual sequences are chained together to form songs, the song tracks run the entire length of the song. This can make them particularly useful for recording parts that might overlap from one sequence to the next, or use them when you want to add a part to a song that you'd prefer to play from beginning to end. In all other ways, the song tracks function just like the sequencer tracks. Each song track can have its own sound, MIDI channel, and other track parameters including effects busing, volume setting, pan setting, and so on. Selecting song tracks. With the new song still selected, press the Tracks 1 to 6 button. The song tracks window will be displayed. There'll be a single sound assigned to track 1. It will be whatever sound you last selected before moving to the song tracks page. Double-click the Tracks 1 to 6 button to view the sequence tracks. Double-click the Tracks 1 to 6 button again to return to the song tracks window. Replacing a song track sound. Select the first track by pressing its soft button. Press the Replace Track Sound button. The TS will enter Replace Track Sound mode, just as with a sequence or preset. Select the sound ELEC Keys. It's located in Bank 0 of Bank said U0. Press the Replace Track Sound button again to return to the song tracks window. Recording a song track. Press and hold record, then press play. The metronome will start, and after a 1-measure count-in, the TS will enter record mode. Play a part using the ELEC Keys sound through to the end of the song. If you don't want to play all the way to the end, press the stop button when you want to stop recording. When the song has played through, or when you press stop, you'll be presented with the audition page. Keep the new track. Quantizing a song track. Song tracks can be edited and manipulated just like sequence tracks. For example, you might want to quantize your song track. Press the Tracks 1 to 6 button to return to the Song Tracks window. If it isn't still selected, select Track 1. Press the Edit Track button. Select Quantize. Set the quantize value to whatever best suits the track, 8th notes, 16th notes, etc. Select Yes to perform the quantize operation. You'll be presented with the audition page. Play the original and the new tracks to verify that the song track quantized properly. Keep one of the tracks by pressing the appropriate soft button. Using effects with the sequencer. As with individual sequences and presets, a song can have its own effect setup. Press the sequencer control button twice to move to the second page of the Control Songs menu. Note the setting for Song Step Effect. Song Step Effect can be set to either Seek or Song. It should currently be set to Song. Please note, if Song Step Effect is set to Seek, then the effect used at any point during the song will be determined by the sequence. This allows you to use different effects during the course of a song by assigning different effects to different sequences. Leave it set to Song. Choosing a new song effect. Press the Track Effects button 3 times to move to the third page of the Track Effects menu. Press any of the upper soft buttons to select the effect algorithm parameter. Use the data entry slider or the up-down arrow buttons to select Effect 45, Chorus plus Reverb 1. The song will now use this effect. Assigning track effects busing. Select Song Track 1. This is the Elect Keys track that you just recorded. Press the Track Effects button until you reach this page. You may have to press the button several times. If it's not already selected, press the Track 1 soft button. Use the data entry controls to set this to FX1. Since the FX1 bus feeds both the chorus and the reverb in this algorithm, this will allow you to use both effects to process the electric piano track. If you wish, play the keyboard while changing the routing parameter for this track to hear the result that different effect routings have on this sound. Storage. Formatting a floppy disk. Before you can use a floppy disk to save and load data, you must format the disk. Insert a blank 3.5-inch floppy diskette into the disk drive. Press the Storage button. Select Disk from the choices presented. Select Format. Select Format. The TS will ask you to confirm the selection, as formatting the disk will erase all files on the disk. Select Yes. In about a minute, formatting will be complete, and you can use the disk for data storage. Saving files to disk. The steps involved in saving sounds, sequences, presets, and other types of files to disk are all basically the same. Insert a formatted 3.5-inch floppy diskette into the disk drive. press the Storage button. Select Disk from the choices presented. Select Save. Use the data entry slider and/or the up-down arrow buttons to set the type of file you wish to save, whether it's a sequence file, a bank of sounds, or whatever. Select Yes. You'll be given the opportunity to rename the file you're saving. Use the soft buttons, the data entry slider, and the up-down arrow buttons to rename the file. Once you've renamed the file, or decided to leave the name as it is, select Yes. In a few seconds, the save operation will be complete. And that brings us to the conclusion of the instructional portion of this video. Don't forget about the great accessories that are available from Ensoniq for your TS product. The TSD-1000, true timbral magic from this collection containing over 100 new sounds and presets for your TS. Upcoming sound libraries include the TSD-1000 International Collection, TSD-1001 with altered native sounds, TSD-1002, the Rhythm Construction Kit, and many more to follow. Don't forget about the entire EPS, EPS 16 Plus, and ASR10 sound library. With over 3,000 sounds, this collection, which was originally designed for our samplers, can now be loaded into your TS. CD-ROMs 1, 2, and 3 are also available and can be connected to your TS using the optional SP4 SCSI interface. If expanding your sequencer memory is in your future, the SQX70 will give you 97,000 notes. Another great accessory for the TS10 is the ASR10 rack mount sampler. With total integration of sampling, onboard effects, resampling, and sequencing, the ASR10 Advanced Sampling Recorder stands apart from all other rack mount samplers. The DP4 Parallel Effects Processor would be another great add-on. 400 onboard presets, 4 signal processors, a digital patch bay, and submixing all in one easy-to-use box. The DP4 Parallel Effects Processor, the next generation in affordable effects. Whether you perform on stage or in church, teach, or simply want to have fun at home, the KS32 Weighted Action MIDI Studio gives you the feel of a true piano with the features of a MIDI workstation. A combination